We're going to talk about putting this fence up. I'm going to show you from the beginning to the end exactly what it took me to do it. From the delivery of the equipment to the removal of the shrub to putting up the fence, augering the holes, and making sure that it's all done.
All right. So I was fortunate enough to be able to pay the extra $75 it took to get this delivered. Now, keep in mind that the entire cost of all the supplies was about $2,600 and 2,650, I believe, and 75 of that was the delivery. Now, this included them delivering it the next day, and as you can see here, he basically just takes the forklift and picks up the entire 29 planks of the fence and drops it off in right off the driveway where I asked him to put it. It was very convenient because then I didn't have to figure out how to load this up into a truck, bring it to my house, and unload each one of them. Those planks would have been very difficult. This one is the post. Now, there's also 29 post here, and with the 29 post, these posts were treated. So because of the treating, they are extremely heavy, and it would have been very, very difficult to um, move them. And so I was very lucky that I went ahead and spent the $75 because I didn't realize just how heavy this was going to be. Now, the one mistake I did make is I had him put the concrete is next, and I had him put it in the way of that large trailer in the middle. And that is the coffee trailer, and we needed it the following weekend, and I had not got the fence done yet. So we'll see. You'll see him place that here. But I did make one mistake with the concrete. I did not realize that when you dig a 6-inch hole, 2.5 feet deep to put your post in, that you only need a half a bag of concrete per post, not a full bag. Now, I did do dry pours where you dig the hole, you put the post in, you dump the concrete in, and then you got dump water on top of it. It did work really well for me. Allowed me to make sure everything was perfectly straight and not have to support it. Um, at this point, he's done unloading everything, and I go over to do an inventory count. Now, deliveries like this, you want to make sure that you report the problems right away because if you're short and you don't report it, you have to sign off when he's leaving. So, what he's going to do is he's going to get out now and take a couple of pictures for evidence of delivery, showing that the pallets are there. I'm going to sign a document saying that I received everything. But overall, it was a very good deal. They did online allow me to track where they were when they were going to be delivered. So hats off to Home Depot. They made it very, very simple for me to do this. My favorite part, though, is that they allowed me to return the extra concrete because I got 29 bags of concrete to match the 29 post. And as it turns out, I only need half of those. So I ended up using 15 of those bags, and I needed to return the rest. Now, here it was kind of nice. The driver was very friendly and allowed me to record it, but here he's asking me, where is the drone? And so I'm showing it to him up high in the sky.
All right. Now, I went and got one of these Predator augers. The reason I did this is I can rent it for 150 bucks. I can rent one from Home Depot or one of those other places, or I can just buy the whole thing for 200 bucks. I think it's 219, but with enough coupons and gift cards and stuff like that, and you get it for a lot cheaper. So I figured owning it is better. Maybe I can sell it used after I'm done using it. So I'm just going to pull it out here and get it set up as quickly as possible. All right, so the main unit comes just like this. Warned you that you need use 50-to-1 gas mix fuel, add fuel stabilizer. We bought a bottle of that while we were there. And the auger here. There we go. That's good. And it looks like this just pulls off here. Comes off the cap there. I'm going to slide it on. Now they have attachments for different sizes. This is a 6-inch auger that goes 30 inches deep or 31 inches deep. I need 2 feet deep, which is 24 inches, and 6-inch for my post that you can see here. So it was perfect size for me. Filled it about halfway. It's got the right color on it. I'm going to use the prime button. Well, that was a lot easier than I expected. I have to say, I'm winded, but it wasn't near as hard as I was expecting. All right, here we are. First 10 holes in the back dug. So what we're gonna do now is put the half a bag of cement in each one and fill them up with some water. This one I ran into a problem, a root from a very big tree that used to be right here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a post in there or not. And that fence is supposed to start in this corner and go that way, but you can see that stump is still here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So we'll see. First, we're going to get this over here done. And then we'll have the biggest majority of the back wall finished. We'll have the main front wall finished. And then I can focus on that side wall over there. All right. See you in a bit. Lots of roots. So you can see lots of big roots from where that tree was. But most of them you can get through if you little perseverance. You have to be careful though, because it'll catch on to you, yank your arms off also. But by far, big time saver. Most of these in a couple of sessions, 20, 30 minutes at a pop. All right, so I want to go over a few things that we did when we were putting this fence in. So these were purchased planks and you saw them delivered. So when we purchased these planks, basically, I got them in 8-foot squares and I mounted the post 8 foot apart from each other. You can see that if we take a bird's eye view or a closer to a bird's eye view from here of where those posts are. They're approximately 8 foot apart. And what I basically do there is then try to make sure that this piece of plank ended exactly halfway through where it started here. Now, there was some level of flexibility here. You can cut off just a single plank, and in some places I had to do that to get everything to fit perfectly. The nice thing is that gives you this about 3 to 4 inch margin here, which is about the width of this pole, which makes it pretty safe to put these up and be close but not perfect. Now, I still need to go back and trim off the top of all these posts. As you can see, you'll see when I did the auger digging, we have a lot of sand here in Florida, so sometimes the sand would fill in the holes before I was able to get the post down into them. So if we look down here on the ground here, you'll see there's a ton of sand around it as opposed to just normal dirt. So what I did is I put those posts in 8 foot apart and then carried the fence over one at a time and put them in. Thanks for watching. As you can see, the fence turned out great. Looks real good, other than I need to trim a couple post stops off the top. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope everything that you saw here was helpful. And if I missed anything or you have any suggestions for others, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I love the feedback, and I'm sure that would help them out also. Talk to you later. Thanks a lot.